Thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2. It's a great day to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Let's jump right in. JaMarr Chase, he comes out and he names 3 Steelers among top 4 cornerbacks in the NFL. And the one Steeler that I'm really going to focus on right now, the compliment that JaMarr Chase gave was to Joey Porter Jr. You know why? Because there's this narrative that Joey Porter Jr. is struggling. So when JaMarr Chase comes out and says that Joey Porter Jr. is in the top 4 cornerbacks in the NFL, it should tell you something. I don't know where a lot of these narratives start. I understand why they start, because Joey Porter Jr. is not getting 10 picks a year. It's almost like Joey Porter Jr. will get 1 penalty a game and everybody will lose their mind and make it sound like he can't play. I know one thing for certain. If Joey Porter Jr. ever hit the free agency market, every team in the NFL will be lining up to pay him big-time money to be a part of their team. So I'm glad that JaMarr Chase came out and said this. It also brings facts and reality to the situation instead of everybody else's fragile feelings or delusional thoughts about what's really going on. JaMarr Chase, he's the best receiver in the league. He plays for a division rival. He's not just going to make this up. So let's see what JaMarr Chase had to say. JaMarr Chase was recently asked for his top 5 cornerbacks in the NFL, and 3 Pittsburgh Steelers made the cut. He immediately named Cleveland Browns' Denzel Ward as the top guy, but proceeded to list 3 Steelers to round out their abbreviated list of 4. Joey Porter Jr. is pretty smooth. He's just long, Chase said via the sit-down with Malik Wright on YouTube. It's going to be fun going against Jaylen Ramsey and Darius Slay. I had an opportunity to go against Slay this last year and Ramsey my rookie year. That's 4. I'm going to go with 4. Porter and Chase have now played each other 3 times, but the Steelers opted to stick Corey Trice Jr. on Chase for the most recent matchup in the final week of the 2024 season. But their first very matchup in Porter's rookie season was a fantastic outing for him. Next Gen Stats had Porter only allowing 2 receptions for 36 yards while shadowing Chase on 85.7% of his routes. You know, let's go back to the Corey Trice Jr. thing. I thought that was one of the most horrendous coaching moves that I've seen Coach Tomlin make since he's been the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, JaMarr Chase is an elite weapon. There's no reason at all why Joey Porter Jr. cannot follow him around the field the entire game. Now, Corey Trice Jr., he got ate up a bit on the first drive. The Bengals went down for a touchdown immediately. But if you look at the stats, he didn't get killed too much. But that's not the point. Joey Porter Jr. should be on the best receiver week in and week out when the Pittsburgh Steelers take the field. And I'm really glad that JaMarr Chase came out and said this about Joey Porter Jr. Again, because there's this false narrative out there like he's really struggling and he can't play. Joey Porter lined up against JaMarr Chase on 24 of 28 routes, 85.7%, aligning in press coverage on 10 routes, 41.7%. Chase caught both of his targets with Porter as the nearest defender, with both coming in tight windows and man coverage. You know, false narratives, they do crazy things to NFL teams and NFL players. I believe Minkah Fitzpatrick was also a victim of false narratives. And I see the same thing similar to Joey Porter Jr. You hear the fans, you hear the coaches, you hear the insiders, and they make it seem like he's a below average player for the Pittsburgh Steelers when he clearly isn't. He is a top elite cornerback in the NFL. And come free agent time, hopefully the Steelers learn, because it seems like the Pittsburgh Steelers never learn when it's time to sign their best players. Hopefully they don't mess around and lose Joey Porter Jr. to some other team and give him the money that he deserves. TJ Watt, Minkah Fitzpatrick. It's almost like every single time an elite player is due for a contract, the Steelers will bring out everybody else in. We'll give this guy money, we'll give this one money. But the guys that put it on the line and make the plays year in and year out for the Pittsburgh Steelers, they get taken care of last. I don't want to see Joey Porter Jr. in another uniform ever. I want him to finish his entire career with the black and gold, just like Ike Taylor. He reminds me of Ike Taylor in a lot of ways. He's a bit longer than Ike Taylor, maybe a little bit not as explosive, but he has elite speed, better than you think. But Joey Porter Jr. really reminds me of Ike Taylor in a lot of ways. And the same thing with Ike Taylor. He didn't get a lot of credit from the outside media and the national media. I know as a guy that follows the Steelers all the time, I thought Ike Taylor was absolutely sensational. I thought he was a top 1 to 3 corner in the league every single year that he played. He was quiet about it. He went about his business. I know that Dick LeBeau absolutely loved him. And I know Steelers fans that really know what's going on, they know Ike's worth and value. And I'm really hoping that Joey Porter Jr. can be the next Ike Taylor. He already is, but we need to keep him for the long haul. There's also an article written about Jalen Ramsey. Doug Whaley believes teams should hammer Jalen Ramsey in the slot. That's how I would attack the Steelers. Well, that's how they were attacking the Steelers all last year also. They weren't going deep on Minkah Fitzpatrick, but I know one thing, they will be this year. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to get gashed for big plays by letting by trading away Minkah Fitzpatrick to the Miami Dolphins. And I don't want to hear one Steeler fan complain that was bashing Minkah, saying he's not worth the money when the Steelers are getting torched on the back end, because that's exactly what's going to happen. Appearing on 93.7 The Fan, he weighed in, and you could judge the soundness of his logic yourself. This is where I struggle with Jalen Ramsey, because he's tall. Guys that are quick, and especially in the slot, they're going to be moving and have two-way go against a guy whose game is predicted on length. Whaley seems convinced that teams will feast on Jalen Ramsey in the slot, but that seems as an exaggeration. He said that even if the Steelers make it his full-time job, he won't stand to improve much. Who's he practicing against in the Steelers? You're talking about Calvin Austin. I don't really get that, because I think Calvin Austin is going to have a breakout year this year. And Calvin Austin can make you a better player in practice because he has elite speed and body movement. So I don't really get that. I don't really understand that knock on Calvin Austin. Between Jalen Ramsey, Joey Porter Jr., Darius Slay, Ramsey would be the most comfortable playing in the slot, and Doug Whaley sees even that as a part of the problem. They have a long, lengthy guys that need to press and get their hands on you. And as an offensive coordinator, I'm going even in 10 personnel and having 2 slot guys, he said. That's how I would attack the Steelers now. He even went so far to suggest that teams like the Chiefs and Ravens, who have speedy slot receivers, should check into 11 personnel. I'd make sure if Jalen Ramsey's in the slot, two-way go, boom. There is no history of teams exploiting Ramsey when he lines up in the slot, though. I mean, this is just his opinion, but I'm pretty sure that Jalen Ramsey is going to be the slot corner for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he is aggressive, he is physical, and I'd rather lose being aggressive and physical than by guys like Cam Sutton, who are just on the field and have no clue what they're doing and just decide to do whatever they want, not try to tackle anybody. Anything is an upgrade over Cam Sutton. You know, I'm going to go back to what JaMarr Chase said. He said that Jalen Ramsey, Darius Slay, and Joey Porter Jr. are in the top 3 cornerbacks, 3 out of 4 that he's played against. So I'm going to stick with JaMarr Chase has to say. Obviously, he knows what he's talking about. And I can't wait to see the matchups between JaMarr Chase and Joey Porter Jr. Thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2.